monitor showing up? Does anyone know? There's the monitor. Oh, there it is. That was weird. How's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing okay. I'm going to give it a shot here. I'm going to give the Wild Jam a shot. I have an idea. It's funny, it relates to match 3, so I'll still be doing match 3 stuff. It's sort of inspired by a comment that Obsidian had said on the stream about doing a hexagonal-based match 3 game. And I started to think about that, and then it left my thoughts. And then I saw the theme of symmetry, and it reappeared in my thoughts. And I was like, well, that idea works really well for symmetry, at least conceptually speaking. The problem here is that we've got some major data struct things that we're going to have to develop in order to make this idea work. Now, there's hex. Let's see. I'm trying to think of it. What it's called? Hex. Why is Pirate Bay in there? Is it because of a bookmark? That was weird. I'm going to clear. Do I have Pirate Bay in my bookmarks? What is this? No? What the heck is this? Oh, that's right. That was that thing that guy was talking about. Sorry. So Hex. It's still suggesting Pirate Bay. That's really weird. Hex game programming. I know there's a beautiful website out there that has the sort of a list of kind of, here we go. Guides over how to make hexagonal grids and some different approaches with regards to data structures. Excuse me. So I'll be looking into this. Still dropping frames. Gooly jeez. Williker. Feels like I can't do anything to fix my drop frame issue. But excuse me. So yeah, so a match 3 that's based on a hexagon, right? This is something that Obsidian had talked about as an idea. And I thought it was interesting, but I had some problems with it conceptually, like as far as gameplay was concerned. Or at least there was some stuff about it where I'm like, I don't know, like it doesn't feel like it would play as quick as you can with say like a Bejeweled, right? But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, wait a minute. What if my stream didn't drop so many effing frames? Wouldn't that be cool? You know what? I'm going to try restarting my stream and just see if I can fix this. Give me a second. Okay, we'll see if this helps at all. It might actually hurt. We'll see. So anyway, so yeah, we have some data structure stuff we're going to have to figure out. Specifically with coordinates and our coordinate system in order to facilitate doing things like matches. So there's really two angles to... Actually, there's more than 2 angles to check here. There's 3. So doing a hexagonal match 3 game turns it into a 3-dimensional field, even though representation might not look like that. The very fact that a hexagon looks like a cube, if you think about it, if you look at the shape of a hexagon, it looks like a cube without all of its sides drawn, right? Like Cubert. So let me reset this. Right. So part of this idea came from you, Obsidian. We're going to see if I can even do this. I don't know if I can. But yeah, so in the terms of symmetry, and this is something you had mentioned, the idea of a match 3 with hexagon, right? And I was thinking about that, and I was imagining just flopping each piece just like you would in a traditional match 3, like Bejeweled styled game. But then when I saw this jam, and it was like kind of cooking in my brain, and I kept thinking about symmetry, I'm like, well, what could we do with that? And I'm like, I'm working on match 3 stuff. My head is just in match 3 space, right? That's all I'm thinking about. And I was like, well, what if... It occurred to me, I'm like, what if you had these rows of, well, let's call them spokes of hexagons, and you could rotate the spoke, as Digital Foundry likes to say, bespoke. The bespoke technology. That's my Digital Foundry joke. So anyways, yeah, so the idea being you can move in and out of these areas here. There'll be different types of hexagons representing the potential matches that you can make of the types of things, and then you'll move in between the spokes here and then rotate clockwise or counterclockwise to make the match happen. So that's where the symmetry comes in, because you're always rotating, and then the match itself is symmetrical, right? And I started thinking about what that means in terms of gameplay, and I realized it turns it into, because with a match 3 on a XY grid, right? A 2-dimensional array, you get the possibility of having matches going horizontal and vertical. When you're doing it in this manner, where you can rotate or you can flip, and you can potentially have matches in 3 dimensions, where you can have one angle, another angle, and then the horizontal, right? So you can have like the ones going across like this, and then a horizontal match as well. But you throw in this idea of rotating the entire hexagonal space, and suddenly the way that the matches can happen, and this is where the idea, I don't even know if there's fun in this idea. And the thing that sucks is there's going to be a ton of work in this in order to get to the point where it's even like something I can do, and then be like, oh yeah, actually this is boring and doesn't work. But in my mind, the possibility of an extremely larger amount of matches happening at a given moment is exciting to me. But there's a ton of problems with it in terms of like dealing with the data structure, right? Tons of problems with the data structure. Interesting challenges, let's put it that way. So basic game idea is nothing in the center here. So you go by 6, by 12, by 24, by 48, right? On each of these hexagonal circles, we'll call them spokes. Obsidian has a suggestion. Go for it. You don't have to ask. And we're going to have to play around with a number of types. Oh, somebody did the work already. Class name Hexcel. So it's based off of, is this just, oh, it's just an object. Oh, my battery finally died. Shoot. Hang on. I'm going to flop out. I might have to go run and get batteries for my mouse. Oh, you did the work. This sounds like something you'd do. You're like, I could use this once. Okay, let's see. Son of a biscuit. I might have to go run next door and get some batteries. I'll be right back. This sucks. right midstream. Dead in the water. Be right back. So Obsidian, how did it go? I wasn't able to watch I wasn't able to watch the whole stream. I kept popping in, just doing yard work and everything, trying to catch up on life. Now that the nephews are gone, can finally actually do all that boring stuff. Hey, Frozen. I had to go get batteries. Yeah, my mouse died. Uh-oh. Looks like I killed something. Yeah, so my idea is, because my headspace was in match 3, Wells. Why am I calling you Wells? Frozen. And so yeah, so the idea being to do a match 3, but on a hexagon, thanks to Obsidian's idea that he had said a while back that was in my head, but then I saw the symmetry thing and I started thinking about it and I'm like, okay, if we took the match 3 concept and we made these, see how we're highlighting each of these hexagonal spaces, right? So if we imagine that you can move in and out of these spokes, let's call them spokes, and you can rotate them, right? That's how you do the match 3 in this style of game. Then we got to do, there's a lot of complicated stuff in order to get this to work, and I don't even know if it'll be fun. But it'll be hexagonal match 3 where there's no center spoke, there's no center hexagon. It starts right here, goes 6, 12, 24, 48, right? So it goes outward, and then you're going around the wheels, rotating. Now there's a ton of problems with this idea in the details of like, is this going to even like, can you just always rotate? Is it always going to be that there's always going to be some sort of match or whatever? Or like I just think once it's playable, then this is the kind of thing where you're going to work on it a ton. You can imagine it all you want, but until you actually do it and sort of play it, like you have no idea if this is going to be any fun or if it's going to feel stupid or like you're going to have to think of another mechanic to add on top of it in order for it to work right. Because I just think that the possibility of getting matches on the outer rungs increases exponentially, right? So there's some problems, like, I don't know. We'll see. So it's almost like the scoring system would need to be like, I don't know. It's an idea. We'll see. It kind of reminds me of those a lot of the like mini lock picking games. we'll see. It's something to mess around with and see. It's a huge challenge with the data structure stuff, but it looks like I might have this here. So he's got all of this stuff here. So he's got get ring. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to get line to point, get line to cell. Let's look at, see what he's calling ring in here. Rings. So like when you have get ring, does that just return a number? No, it returns an array. Does that return an array of the cells in that hexagonal space? Right. Okay. So there's pointy and flat. So that's an interesting question to start with from the beginning. I do feel like pointy is probably more interesting. So you've got orientation. So we have a set. And a get. So I'm just looking around. Those are internal, right? So I'm not going to look at those. How are you doing this custom data type called hex cell? How'd you do that? Can you do that with class names? See, this is... Yes, but you can't self-reference the class name within the defining script. So when I want to instance another hex cell. Yeah, I'm trying to remember how I did the data struct when I was doing the Catan thing. Yeah, it looks like it. You're using the same. I'm just looking at your code and trying to decide if I can use it for what I'm trying to do. Because, like, very specifically, I'm going to need to be able to rotate the hexes. Which is, I don't even know if that's something that... Right, like rotate a rung. So he's got something here for rotation. Based on the center rung. So we need to use a combination of what he's referring to as rings and then rotation within that ring. So we really only go one direction. And then we need to iterate across the ring shift all of the types around. So I'm just trying to imagine the data in a way, like, is it possible for me to cheat and use things like right. I was thinking of doing the exact same thing. Gotcha. Your code's so clean. Sexy. so many drop frames on my stream. This is ridiculous. Looks like 50% of my stream is dropped frames. I think I might restart it again. Here we go. As far as rotating, I don't think I explicitly wrote a rotate method, but after implementing one, yeah. I haven't played it yet. No, sorry I hadn't responded to you. I'm gonna restart my stream. This is crazy. Be back.